I'm Ann Shipp.
And I'm Roger Higgins, and this is our home in Nashville, Tennessee.
The two of us met in design school 30 years ago, and we were in class together, and one of my friends said to me, "Would you like to go out with Roger?" And I said, "Roger who?"
Of course I would, is what she said.
I had clients while I was in school doing small projects, and I'm really good at doing design work and not so good at some of the other things, and Ann was kind enough to help me get the business part of it figured out, as she's smart like that.
So we always knew that we both had talents that were completely different, and that when we worked together, we did it really well.
When we first saw the house, it was lived in by a young family. They had lots of beautiful things, but the house was primed for a big renovation on a great lot in a great spot, so we just jumped at it. So this is the entry hall in the house, and one of the places that I did not change something is the location of the front door and how it aligns with the living room. Did a painted floor, which I really like. It's the same consistent floor throughout, but we did a painted pattern, which I think delineates the space, adds a little bit of formality without it being too formal. And then in here we have millwork panels that are painted the same as the wall, as well as drapery that provide my chartreuse green color, which is my accent color throughout the house. As far as Christmas goes, I'm never afraid to hang a wreath on top of a mirror or a painting or anything, and this is where this one lands, and I think it's a nice welcome. It says it's the holidays when you come in the door. If we have one, this is the formal living area in our house. Because we have all of these doors and windows on every wall, with the exception of the one on the end, I wanted to put something on that end wall to provide a focal point. And in this case, we used hand-painted wallpaper panels and framed the panels into one big piece of artwork. So in this room, because of the ability to keep furniture off of the wall, we went with a day bed, which floats in the middle of the room, and it allows you to sit on either side. It's really turned out well. Also works for a nap occasionally when you need to. The coffee table I actually bought when I was in college for $120 at a yard sale, and I love that one.
I think the style is refined and elegant, but welcoming. We never try to make something that feels like you don't want to be there or touch anything. We want people to come in and feel invited, but it's also a very layered look. It looks collected to me. It's all something that we've collected over time and means something. And I think that's important in how it looks.
So here's the dining room, one of my favorite rooms to design, even though they are sometimes the least used room. I like to do the walls in a dark color because I think it enhances the intimacy a little bit. Of course, then I want beautiful lighting, and always concerned about the table and the setting and the things that you bring to that. And I absolutely want to mix together casual and formal and all of those things. One of the things in this room that I did find that I liked was this big piece of artwork, which is not precious or fine, but we were having a party and I did not have a big piece of artwork to put in this spot. So from an art supply store and the paint store, and I gave myself like 30 seconds, and that's what I ended up with. And I think we've since named it a polo player. Let me know if you see it. Okay, the kitchen is where a lot happens, and I like the mix of natural wood and natural stone, and a little bit of color on the cabinets. We did a pale, soft gray blue that kind of is reminiscent of a color that was used a lot in older homes in kitchens. This is an area in the kitchen that we thought was going to be about serving, but what we found out is it's the catch-all, so I cleaned it up before you got here. But we also use it for overflow of dishes and display and collections. And then this window is not as big as it appears. We took this great Schumacher fabric and did a valance that looks like a Roman shade to make the window appear taller. This is the room where we tend to stay a lot, and it has the things that I think make it feel the most comfortable and inviting in it, not the least of which is this giant, enormous amount of books. A lot of them are in foreign languages I bought from dealers, collected them over time, some bought by the foot, some bought in sets, and some bought individually. And this beautiful floor was something I wanted to save, and it also prompted the color selection and the palette for a lot of things. Everything had to go with this. The ceiling was I think at about 9 feet. We were able to open the ceiling up and give it this barrel vault with the wood, which gave it a little bit of the library den feel that I think is warm and inviting. This is kind of where the Christmas tree always lands in this house, this spot right here. I always want the Christmas tree to be in a spot where you can see it and enjoy it where you are, not in the entry hall where you walk past it. As we started our business 30 years ago, we would decorate our clients' houses for Christmas. So we got lots of secrets and tips and knacks of how to make it all work and look good. I love the smell of fresh greenery, but when you start as early as the holidays start and they last as long, if you do all fresh, it turns into just a massive shedding fire hazard. And so I really like putting stuff that will hold and look good, but I also don't want it to look fake. So we mix different types of greenery together, and then you put real pine cones in it. I believe in pine cones. They're everywhere here in this house.
The Christmas don'ts here are nothing with too much color. It's pretty much green, white, brown, and that's the color palette here.
So this is the first floor bedroom. Oftentimes it gets used as a guest bedroom. Always enjoy lots of layers and fabrics and things that make it feel cozy and cocoon-like in a bedroom. This is an antique wall-hung French console that I bought at a local antique mall. I like the large-scale pieces of furniture, not the least of which is this armoire, which as I got the house finished, I realized it's going to be a challenge to get it in here. It only comes through one way, and it's through a window on the front of the house, straight down a hallway into this room. So if anybody wants to take it away from me, they're going to have to get it out that window. One of the necessary things that everybody seems to have this day is a home office, and this is ours. I try not to work from home. Ann works too much and will work from home if she's given the opportunity, so I got a really uncomfortable chair. So nothing here happens without lots of complaining about that. This room we used the crewel drapery to add a casual aspect. Again, I'm a sucker for a large-scale piece of artwork.
It's funny when I think about how this house makes me feel. When we first moved in, I remember coming home a couple of times and pulling in the driveway and thinking, when whoever actually lives here comes back, they're going to make us leave. Because I couldn't believe that we finally finished it, got it done, and it really was ours.
You know, it's home. Of course I love it, but I also need to watch out about I'm the person that gets bored.
We have these conversations a lot about we've done this house and how fabulous it is. And he says, but if we had 3 more feet in the kitchen, or if we had 1 more bedroom. And I know when he starts to talk about things like that, that it's probably time to think about another project. Otherwise, we're gonna start this one over again.
So maybe I should just redo the office instead of this.
I think we're good.
Okay.